Good morning, B. How's it going?
It is going good. It's going good. How you
Boy,
doing this morning?
I'm doing good. Have y'all found yourself beeping to that song during the day?
Not
Am
yet,
I
not yet, but I do like it in the morning.
the only one? Boom, boom,
No,
boom,
I like
boom.
it though. I like it.
Not yet.
Not quite yet.
Well,
But good morning.
all right. Not quite yet. Good
Mm-mm.
morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Before we get started, I have something to put out that I did not, y'all. I just did not have the time yesterday to type all that stuff and get it out to you. And in thinking about that, I'm just going to stop doing that. So if you want it, you have to go back, listen to the show, get to that part. It's just too much. I'm already looking for more time during the day. Not complaining. It just is what it is. So I just thought, why do you even put yourself in that position? So I will not any longer, unless it's
Do
a
what?
link that I can copy and paste. I said I was gonna for those of who were here yesterday, and I just assume we have our same little group. I said I was gonna type those things, the ingredients for fear, and
Oh
put
yeah.
out there, and I just didn't have the time. So I do have my word. I did do my stuff, but just typing it out when it's out there on the show. Brandon read it twice, so you could easily go back and
Oh
find
yeah.
the
You ain't
word
got to
if
do
you
that.
want. So I'm just not gonna do if it's embedded in the show and you need it and want it, you have to go get it. Sorry, not sorry. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
trying
fine.
to be more. I don't know. I don't know to pull back a little bit so that I could do what I need to do. So
I know that's right. Well,
yeah.
take your time, mom. That's no problem for any of us. And let's make sure to keep, for people that might not be on the show, let's always let them know exactly what was going on. I think you did, because at first I was like, what are you what you were talking about?
Well, you were on the show, so I thought you would
Right,
know, but you weren't.
right. I was like, it just took me a second to catch on, but I got you now. I got you now.
Yeah.
But good
So
morning, everybody, and welcome to the end of season podcast. Who we got coming in on the chat?
we got Miss Brenda. Good everything, everyone. Happy Wednesday, she says. Kayla says, good morning. Amazing news. I got accepted for the special education teacher assistant.
Good
Woo!
job,
Yes,
Kayla.
Kayla.
Good job.
Yay. Congratulations. Big Mike says, good morning, everyone. May your day be filled with happiness, joy, and blessings.
Oh, that's
So
beautiful. Thank y'all both, all three, for joining. Appreciate y'all so far.
I had
Let's see.
someone take the assessment yesterday
Oh, you did.
out
Did you?
of Southwest Missouri.
Okay.
So that's exciting news, y'all. Let's
Yeah.
share our good news this morning.
Did you know them personally, or it's just
It's actually someone I met at our corporate meeting.
ah nice.
Yeah, nice.
Well, congratulations, Mama, for all that success there. I'm trying to get this stuff up for us right now on this on
All
Instagram.
right. So we'll do it, y'all. Let us do it. Give us just a minute as we wait. Hopefully, Richetta and Big Al, Sal, KL, we're waiting on them as well. So hopefully they will be in and we'll jump right into this, get it going, get us in and get us out. I'm
Sounds
actually off today. I'm excited about that. Like I am
all right.
off.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So I'm gonna take grandbabies to lunch and do something for my neighbor, my elderly neighbor here in the neighborhood, and then I'm gonna come back
Mimo?
home, clean up, and Mimo, yeah,
Okay, bet.
Mimo,
Well, look at
Mimo,
you
yeah,
having a chill thrill day. You got the
yeah, yeah.
kids,
So
got the kids with the neighbors.
yeah. She's gonna actually come with me so that I can do it while we're back on the way in. She's gonna
Okay.
come have lunch with us. So um, you guys, while Brandon is well, let's see, maybe he's already said he's got it. I was going to tell them to drop your word. If you selected a word yesterday from the ingredients of fear, drop it in the notes and as much information as you'd like to about it. For those of you who were not here, you'll have to go back and maybe we could just read over that
Sure.
ingredients one more time, and then people can go back and pick a word if they so choose to. Brandon, you should be good over there.
Sounds good.
But
Sounds good.
again, mine. Brandon, I wonder if you know what mine is.
I
You
know
should, it
what
should be
yours
okay
is.
on the Instagram, Brandon.
Okay, thank you, sweet. I got. live and going as of right now. What's yours? All right, so I'm gonna read through them one more time just so everyone know what it is. So there was an acronym made out of the word failure yesterday. Yesterday was called Scared Straight, right? And so um, everyone had we were reading about people having a fear of failure. And so they made failure an acronym or a letter for each, words for each letter inside of failure. So FAILURE. For the F, they had fear, frustration, futility, falling short. If those are any of your words, any of the words that you think keep you from really pursuing your purpose, really pursuing success, then let us know. Fear, frustration, futility, or falling short. For A in failure, we have anger, anxiety, and adversity. For I in failure, we have impatience, indifference, impulsiveness. For the L in failure, we have lethargy and laziness. For the U, we have unworthiness and uselessness. For the R in failure, we have regret, remorse, and resentment. And then for the E, we have envy, egotism, and emotionalism. Which one of these words, which one of these adjectives, or which one of these words in general describe your impediment, if you have any, to failure? We're probably familiar with some of these characteristics, but the only way to overcome them is to force these culprits into the open and no longer deny them. Basically, call the devil by its name. So, which one of those words uh, is the word that is the challenge for you, or the word that gives you the most pause, or represents some of your impediment to success? And we're going to get that out of here. We're going to expose it today. We're going to call it by its name and minimize its power. So let us know in the comments which one of those words uh, is holding you back just a little bit, or got you running scared. Mom, for you, what's yours? Or did you want me to
So,
get?
for me, I ended up with impatience, um, but I was leaning toward uselessness, not in the form for me, but I I believe what I'm doing. Sometimes I get off track with the belief that what I'm doing, meaning Bluff City leadership, is useless because I don't feel like people really want to tap into themselves. And so sometimes I think I get in my way and I don't have patience for it.
Mm,
Like I need to remember, I don't know. I don't know, but those are my words. It's I'm impatient. I'm impatient for what I love because I want people to get it, you know. And
yeah.
then at the same time, I feel like they don't want to get it. So why am I putting all my time and energy and effort into wanting people to turn that mirror inward so that they could be set free? And so
Mm,
that those were I picked the one I ended up, saying, okay, it's impatience for the plan, basically, and maybe for people to get it, but I don't feel like people want it.
mm.
So
Wow, good job.
nice feel.
Anything else in the chat? Who else got what word best fits you? We ain't got a lot of responses on this
I don't, yeah,
one.
yeah, don't see anything.
You might be onto something, Mama. People don't want to look into themselves. Might be onto something.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to think what would be most for me. Maybe frustration.
Mm,
Maybe frustration.
I could see that.
Yeah, maybe frustration. I think that would be it for me.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, like even in the fence business, like I do my best to give people a good price, right?
And they want less.
I mean, I'm talking about I'm giving great prices, and they still like, well, I don't know. It's like, how much do you think a fence costs? I think people want hundreds of yards of fence for $300 or something. I'm like, are you
Yeah,
crazy?
Yeah.
absolutely crazy. That's every 100 yards is at least you know at least 800 $900 at the least. So but people don't they know how much they want to spend, but they don't know the work that entails in it.
Yeah.
Like there's 28 posts that have to be dug up, disposed of, and then replanted with cement and screwed in and nailed in and lined up right. You got roots in the ground you got to dig up. There's all kind of work, labor, physical labor that goes into it, and they don't understand it because many times people don't see all the ingredients that go in the cake, but damn, do they want a piece of the cake? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They want a
Yeah.
piece of that pie, but like the old nursery rhyme, they don't want to cook it. They don't want to stay in the kitchen. They want to walk by the window. So there's a bit of frustration. Like, okay, well, you know, I have to market to a different people, um, and you know how that goes. But my funny enough, the people that don't come from my same community are quick to make the payment. But the people from my community, even if they have the money and they got the fancy cars and all these other things, they're like, I don't know, I don't, and many times I think it's
Yeah.
because they're trying to keep up with the Joneses
Hmm.
and with the car and the house and the clothes and they're barely keeping up. But everything looks good on the outside, whereas I see the opposite in some other communities, especially immigrant communities.
Yeah.
I see quite the opposite. I don't expect them to be able to have enough to put in. They're like, oh no, I'll pay you cash. So it's just a very interesting, very very interesting difference from people that are born here in the states that I see, and then people that aren't, and then also where their cultural kind of sensitivities are. And I definitely see the difference in having a poverty set or like a mentality of lack versus a mentality of abundance. I can definitely
Hmm.
see the difference, and that's very frustrating.
Wow. That makes me think about, with what I do with the windows and doors. It's hard. It's really hard out there. And I see the same thing. I see um, people that look like me when I ask about windows and doors. You're already, I feel, and maybe I shouldn't feel this way, but sometimes you just have to look at reality. They look at me like, I don't know, windows and doors. I don't care nothing about them windows and doors. Seriously. Whereas you have a very select few that see the value, and I get it because there was a time where I didn't think much about windows and doors in the degree that I do now. Like I noticed when I bought my house that something was off with one of my windows for sure, and the inspector never should have let it go. But at the same time, I never should have let it go either. I should have just went on to another house. Really, it was that bad, one of them, and it was a new house. But people just don't. Some of us just have not quite gotten there where you buy we want to buy a house like you say, Brandon. We want to make $1 million. We don't want to make $1 million. We want to spend $1 million, right? I say people don't want to be married, they want to get married. Down to even with parenting, people don't want to parent, they want to have children. See, it's part of the fad, it's part of the makeup. you know, get married, you get your 9 to 5, 6-figure job, your man, your woman, your fence, your children, and then you don't know that it takes work to keep all this stuff up,
Yeah,
right? So, even and I know we're still going to get you guys out of here, but I'm going to bring this up, and I hadn't planned on it, but Brandon, I think you've struck a fire here, um, and I hope my family is listening. Sorry, not sorry. So I have a family member who reached out to me and Brandon, and we are not the likely candidates, I would say. We wouldn't have thought that this person would have reached out to us. And so I'll be honest, I struggled back and forth with my emotions about it. They're in need. And you guys, people are in need out there of some things. regardless of the reason why, and to some degree. But after really sitting down, having the conversation, I don't know. I'm like, you know what? As a family, we have to make this right. So we have a family page with quite a few people on that page. And so like I said, I hope some are listening. So I posted out there yesterday, y'all. We have a family that's in need. It's hard to come and ask for help because sometimes our pride get in the way. And I even shared with my family member that I at least commend you for that, because I know I've let my pride, I've been in need, and I've let my pride get in the way of asking for help. And that pride put me in a deeper situation, right? Pride. So, and I did ask, why did you come? Why us? Why me? You know? And he said, I just think you have a heart. I just think you have a heart for people. I've asked. You know, it's kind of like people, they say they want to help you, they'll do this for you, but when you ask, you know, and some things happen to get them there, and I'm sure some other things did too, but regardless, you guys, um, they're in a situation, right? Life happens. So I put out on the family page, you know, y'all, we have a family member in need. Let's pull together. $1. You can give $1, y'all. And when I say $1, you think if you got 300 people, everybody gives $1. That's $300. And nobody. And I said, don't pass by this. And I said, we don't get to choose family. It's our gift. Family is our gift from God to us, right? Nobody. So I'm speaking to my family and anybody else. If you can't give $1 to a family member that is in need, right? And I didn't put the name of the person because I think it's hard to have to step up and say, my family is in need. Then I'm gonna tell you, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Period. Period. Over 70 something people saw the post and nobody said, I will give $1. You could go scrape up $1 and change, right? So we got to check our hearts. Stop playing with God. Stop playing with God, because your heart doesn't hurt for your family to the point where you can't give $1 and you pass by the message like nothing. Just like the people in the Bible passed by people in need with their godly selves, right? But you won't help your family. I'm gonna leave it right there. Good morning, Alvin Williams Jr., better known as Big Al Sal on the podcast. And then Auntie Richetta says, "Good morning, pretty butterfly and nephew and everyone." And Big Al says, "Family love." That's right. I mean, like you, and I even said, you guys, that this is what I mean. I got up and spoke at our last family reunion. There is no way that we should not have our own banking system, period. And we wonder why our dollars are not blessed, because you want to hold on to them. You want to spend them on junk, on mess. Brandon, when you were talking, I thought about how we will go to an event and pay $5, $6 for a Coke.
Don't want to send that to me.
$20 for a meal. When Jimmy and I go, I'm like, we're going to pay all this. What we could do is split a meal and a Coke too. We're not going to get 2 dinners, and we can't afford it. That's foolishness. I'm not going to go give you $20 for 5 wings and a Coke. Who do that and where and why? And that's why they continue to do it, because we show up and it's like, oh, we'll do it. But then when you need a fence and you call the son over here, you want him to discount you. You didn't ask for a discount on that Coke.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want him to discount you so you could go buy the baby shirt, the red bottom shoes, the nails. I saw a guy sitting up in the salon yesterday, day before yesterday, getting his nails done just like a little woman. Like, wow. So let's get back to the show. But I mean, y'all, I'm just over it. I at least expected one person, two people in the family group. But if he died today, they'd buy a damn suit and come, or a dress and come to the funeral.
But I was recently at I've attended some funerals as of late, and one thing I noticed is, boy, we will dress up for funerals.
Ooh.
We will come out and show up, and when someone passes away, um, I think a lot of times funerals are selfish.
They
Sometimes
are.
people that go are selfish. From the way we mourn, it's about us. I miss them. I remember when they used to. The I is the main part. The them isn't the main part, right? Or we'll be in our freshest stuff and make sure we look good, make sure the car is washed, make sure all these things that happen, travel all those miles. But if that same person who passed away said, "Hey, months before, I need you guys to come to a family reunion. I need you guys. I want everybody to be here for a dinner for the weekend." We are less likely, many of us, to give up our free time, right? To give up the time that is already free, that we're not having to pay for, to go down and spend time with family. We would rather spend time twiddling our thumbs on the phone. We would rather spend time being out here chasing dog and cat, and you know what I mean? We'd rather spend our time out here, doing frivolous things and being idle with our time instead of spending that with family. But when they die,
Mm.
won't we pull together and show up looking as if we're showing up for each other? But I think if we really analyzed our intentions, we're showing up for ourselves, or to not be looked at in a bad way for not
Yeah.
being there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So maybe that's a lot of egoism.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's one of the words.
one of the words. So let's get into mom. We done almost did a whole show without. Let me
My
jump.
my suggestion is going to be we read this one and let it be.
Okay, cool.
All
Let it
right.
marinate. Maybe touch base on it in the morning. See what people think about it.
Or yeah, let people do their own contemplating about it,
All right, we'll see.
study of it.
Try
Okay.
not to strike a fire in you before.
Okay. The
As you
fire's already been lit.
all right. It's lit. All right, today's passage. And again, guys, we are reading through the book Daily Motivations for African American Success. If you're new here, get the book. This is the book we're reading through every single day. There is a different passage, a different quote, and an affirmation and inspiration at the end that we repeat to ourselves and we take with us throughout our day. So today on August 7th, the title is Fly High. Again, the title on August 7th today is Fly High. And our quote comes from Daryl L. Mobley, the founder of Mobley Peak Performance Institute. And he said, "It's the struggle that makes you great." He said, "It's the struggle that makes you great." A constant struggle, a ceaseless battle to bring success from inhospitable surroundings is the price for all great achievements. The man or woman who has not borne the scars and who has not shed the tears does not know the highest meaning of success. A young boy confined to bed because of a lingering illness watched a cocoon of a beautiful butterfly on his windowsill every day. As nature took its course, the butterfly began its struggle to emerge from the cocoon. But it was a long, hard battle. As the hours went by, the struggling insect seemed to make almost no progress. Finally, the little boy, thinking that the powers that be had erred, took a pair of scissors and snipped open a larger hole. The butterfly crawled out, but that's all it ever did, crawl. The pressure of the struggle was intended to push colorful, life-giving juices into the butterfly's wings, but the child and his supposed mercy prevented this process. Because the boy stopped the butterfly's struggle, it would never fly on rainbow wings above the beautiful gardens. It was condemned to spend its brief life crawling in the dust.
Mm.
Malcolm X once mentioned to a young, struggling student who searched for the keys to success: if you want 1 year of prosperity, grow trees. If you want 10 years of prosperity, grow grain and trees. But if you want prosperity for a lifetime, then grow people.
Mm.
In other words, the key to success is personal development. Our Creator has a divine plan for each of our lives. It's a fact that you can depend on Him, even when it seems the struggle is hard and meaningless. And our affirmation, our inspiration at the end says, I will continue to struggle and press forward. I will continue to struggle and press forward. And last time, I will continue to struggle and press forward. Mom, I thought about you on that even when struggle when it seems the struggle is hard and meaningless, or it seems like people don't aren't interested on turning inward for answers to life's challenges.
Right.
I'd say.
I didn't get to read this one, so it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yep, I didn't get to read this one. Um, the man or woman who has not borne the scars and who has not shed the tears does not know the highest meaning of success. I'm going to say who have not noticed the born scars and who shy away from the shedded tears, who act as if the scars are not there and they never had the tears, will never know the highest meaning of success. Because truth be told, y'all, I think we all have the scars. Maybe we've not allowed them to be born, and we've all shedded those tears that sometimes we maybe try to um, deny or act as if, hey, I'm good. I've always been good. I got this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll be the first to tell you I got some scars, and I've cried to the point where there were no more tears. Like there was nothing, but it still hurt inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just I just dried out. Imagine that. Am I the only one? Am I the only one with these scars, born scars, that sometimes are reborn as I go through this struggle to develop, as it says here somewhere? In other words, the key to success is personal development. What are you developing? What are you developing?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And when you go in that dark room with those undeveloped pictures from the day, from your past, from experiences, from your brokenness, when you go in that dark room to develop those pictures,
Mm-hmm.
what do they look like? Do you walk out of the room and think, oh, they're good, I'm good? Are you trying to develop yourself by understanding who you are, whose you are, by understanding which of these ingredients in the failure, scared straight, do you have in your cake? How
Mm-hmm.
much time do you truly put into developing yourself, to watering your seed, to making sure that your seed is planted in the right soil, in the sun, out of the sun, depending on who you are, what you need, what your goals are? Or as Brandon said, do you spend more time in this world on your phone, meaningless conversations, meaningless people who ain't going nowhere, ain't going to do nothing? And more so, what was that one about the 80/20? 80% of the people, what is it, Brandon?
Don't tell people. Don't speak too much about your problems, because 80% of people don't care, and the other 20% are glad you have them.
Right, right, right. And another thing, Brandon, as you were talking about the fence biz, and I'll turn it over to you because I'm actually done. Um, I don't know if you do, but pray for your business.
Mm-hmm.
Pray for your business. The right people, paying people. And I'm going to say this, you guys, and I'm telling you this, Brandon, because it's what we do with the windows and doors. It's hard. It's hard to get people to see it, right? Like Brandon with the fence. Y'all, I pray for this team. I pray for this team individually as a team. It is Wednesday, and we have one more set for the week, and our goal will be met. It ends on Sunday.
Wow, congratulations again.
We have one more appointment to set
Wow.
out of 5 people out in the field.
The fifth month, fourth to fifth month that y'all
Yes,
hit that goal every single
yes,
month consecutively.
yes.
You can be CEO
So
of the minute. You better quit playing.
I'm just praying. I'm just praying. I'm not. You guys. I'm
Quit playing.
serious.
Praying.
And so, but you know what? You know what? What
Mm,
comes out of this? I need to pray for your business just as hard, and for my business just as hard. You see what I'm saying?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yo,
Yeah,
take
yeah.
care of you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't know, you guys. We just need to get it together. We just need to get it together. I'm especially talking to my family. Especially. I saw a post that said you can't treat people bad and then go worship God on Sunday.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But y'all, you don't go worship God on Sunday and then come back and treat people bad the entire week. Let's flip that thing around. Because see, we got some people doing that. They're treating people bad, but they're going to church. They're not going to church to worship God. People want to go to church. They don't want God. People want to go to church, but they don't want to worship God. People want to go to church, but they don't want fellowship with God. Because what does that do? That promotes personal development. That requires that you change. You can't seek God. You can't fellowship with God wholeheartedly and not change. Period. And so to my family who passed by that message, that's why. You could say what you want. Call me because I'm open for the conversation. But you better be ready. You cannot do that and not be willing to offer your family member $1. Period. My phone lines are open. My phone lines. I didn't even say line. You will get through, but you better be ready. So I'll read the comments, turn it over to you, Brandon. I don't know if I know I said good morning to Big Al. I don't know. He says family love. I don't know if I read that one.
Yep.
Trent, Brother Trent's in the house says, great morning. Big Mike says, there will be more people at your funeral than at your party. Amen to that. I've given enough parties where people didn't show up for that. I'll tell you that you are so right. Trent Williams says, exactly. I think he's talking about the family thing too. Trent Williams says, sometimes we show up out of guilt. He's talking about the funeral situations when people die, how we show up suited and booted, right? I.
And even guilt, feeling
Yeah.
guilt. That's still selfish.
Mm-hmm.
It's and passing of my grandmother in the last month or so made me understand how selfish we are in our approach um,
To life and death.
to with life and with the passing of life by people. Just how selfish we are, even if it seems heartfelt. You know, even if it seems heartfelt, I think if we really look down into why we're crying, why we're this, why we're that. In some cases, I think it's genuine, but in others, I think it's genuinely about us. I'm not sure how I feel about that, and the what all the repercussions and not repercussions, but so much. What's the meaning behind that? What else does that show me about myself, about others, about our families, about you know the tribe of our family and the culture of our family and how we do things, right? So I'm just analyzing a lot in that regard and seeing what's the best path forward for my family. How do I want to teach my children? about funerals. There's one thing, if I can say, since we were on the subject of funerals, in the Islamic tradition, do you know that it's a communal obligation to attend funerals? What do I mean by that? Meaning that, let's say, out of the 25,000 Muslims in Memphis, right? Maybe 25, 30,000 Muslims in Memphis. If one person passes away, we have a messenger group that you can sign up for that aligns all the mosques in the city. So we don't have like, oh, I go to this mosque or I go to that mosque. When time of prayer comes in, and it's 5 times a day, no matter where you are in the city, there's a mosque near you somewhere. You go to the one closest to you to pray because it's the same. And the imams switch. So the imam of this mosque will do the Friday prayer at that mosque this week, and then he'll go to the other one that week, and they all rotate and switch because we're one community, right? It's not split up into different, you know, denominations, and y'all can't come here and we worship differently. No, there's one way. Even amongst the people, you hear the Shia and the Sunni. That's political. That's not a basis of what we believe in the Quran or the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad. That's more of a political, difference. But as far as the theology, it's the same. So when somebody passes away, we all get a message. Brother so-and-so passed away. Or it might be somebody in another country. Brother so-and-so's mother in this country passed away. Right? And so we make supplication for that person because they were a believer. They were somebody that believed. And we pray for God to forgive them of the sins and things like that. But if they're here, the community has an obligation to fulfill the rights of that person's funeral. And so even if you don't know the person, there has to be a congregation that comes together, and you're blessed to be a part of it, to pray for that person at the mosque, to attend their funeral at the mosque. And they're not long, they're not drawn out. It's 15, 20 minutes, maybe sometimes. And then there's the procession to bury them. But many of the people that attend these funerals may not even personally know who the person is. But because they were a believer, because they prayed in the same space and they believed in what we say, La ilaha illallah, there is no one worthy of worship except for the Creator, except for the one who created everything, then we pray for them, right? And so I've been to countless, we call them janazas or funerals, where I had no idea who the person was. Children, I didn't know who that child was. And no one looks at you funny and says, why are you here? We don't know you. But in our funerals, oh, so-and-so can't come. So-and-so can't come. Like we already saying it before we die. So we're going to the grave with grudges. And y'all think we're supposed to go to paradise? You can't get into paradise with that kind of heart. So let's really, so it's making me as a father and as a husband, undo some of the ignorance that we have passed on generationally. The word for ignorance is jahaliya in Arabic, right? The times of ignorance that we have either indoctrinated or accepted ourselves. And I'm giving those up.
Amen.
Placing them with things that are more spiritually, emotionally, mentally beneficial for me and my family. And whoever comes on that boat, comes on that boat. But I tell you what, you better not look back, because you're going to get turned to salt. You better not say you're going to stay. We might have to leave you on that mountain. And I'm making references to Noah, and also to Lot with Sodom and Gomorrah, and also to Noah with his son being on the mountaintop. You can get left behind. I will not wait for you. I will call and tell you, but it's up to you to come. All right. So that's what we need to do. That's a methodology of self-correction, a methodology of self-improvement, a methodology of personal development. Not just this willy-nilly, I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do. F your feelings. Because your feelings will be one way one day, and another way another day. What is your principle? What is your value? What do you do when someone passes away? Right? Is it all about your feelings? Or is there principle? Is there value? Is there purpose behind it? And if it's purpose, it cannot end with you. purpose encompasses everyone because all of our purposes are intertwined into each other, all of them. And if your purpose only involves you and is only a hyper focus on you and only benefits you, then it's not purpose. That's desire. There's a difference. One serves you, one serves God. So I'll leave that there.
Hey Brandon,
Yeah.
I just, and I'll have to send it to you and Stella. This morning I just read on, and I found it by mistake. Two things, two sites. One of them, and they're both are about starting a family fund. But one of them talked about the fund of morals, values, integrity, spiritual growth. So it was about starting that kind of legacy. The
Mm,
other was about money, was about pulling resources together as a family. There's a site that helps you do that, bring the fund, people can make donations into it, and so forth. And I found it because, again, I was looking for something about the family member and our family, trying to figure out, what how to approach them on this side on today because there was no response. But what I got in the looking, searching, I heard God said, say nothing. Just do. If you're the only one that does, you do it. Say nothing to those who have said nothing. And so I won't go back on there and say a thing. I'll do what I can do and I'll move on. Um, and I'll end with this. We have come to a point, people, us, we wrap caskets. Y'all get what I'm saying? We are putting people in the ground. Dallas, a Dallas casket, right? Pittsburgh casket.
they're putting football teams on their caskets.
Yes, you haven't
Y'all
seen? This has been happening for a while.
idiots,
People wrap caskets.
idiots.
Y'all, we so foolish. It ain't even, I don't even know what to say anymore.
Whoever
You
that
know,
they
I'm
so
telling you, they wrapping
I
caskets.
ain't speaking on the dead, but that's the ignorance of the living. That's
Right?
stupid. That's stupid. That's real.
Capitalize. That's for show.
That's real life
That's
stupid.
just like your rib. That's about you, not the person you put. I don't care. I don't care what you say. Like I say, my lines are open, baby, open. But you better be ready.
So
Yeah, I'll show it to you. Yeah,
no, no,
don't try to comprehend it. Don't, because it's you can't, you can't, you can't.
ignorant.
That's why if I
It,
can't go to a funeral, I'm not going for anybody. Most time I've gotten to a point where I don't go, and if I go, I'm not going in because it's foolishness. It's come to the point where it's foolishness. It is about you, what you look like. Because truth be told, you ain't give a damn about the person you there to see in their final state. How can you? You don't give a damn about yourself. That's where we are today, most of us, and that's why I said impatient. Uselessness. That's why I chose those two words at the beginning from yesterday. Because how do you compete with, other than with God and growing yourself, how do you compete with this kind of ignorance? But when it comes to taking an assessment or getting your fence done or getting the things that you need to be done in your life, that's last, if at all. Your fence can fall down and over and roll to the end of the street, and you'll still go buy them red bottoms. You'll still go to the club, bounce it up, getting them shots, you know, and then want to charge somebody $50 to do your fence, and you wrap a cast broke, ain't seen or spent any time with the person you wrapping that casket with.
mama, that one messed me up. They
Yeah,
rap me.
you messed up. I got a lot more to mess you up, baby. We need to have lunch again.
We
Let's get out of here.
we don't even you know what we wrap up in when we pass away with the
Cloth,
Muslim
isn't it cloth?
white cloth, the same
Yeah,
thing that Jesus was wrapped
cloth.
up in when he was put inside of that tomb, according to your scriptures. Y'all, you saying you're Christian, but you don't do anything like Jesus. What's wrong with y'all? Y'all
They
don't
don't know
y'all
Jesus. They know of him.
you don't do
They
death.
ain't the church. They go to the church.
Y'all, I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand how people can call themselves of faith from that person's name, but don't know nothing about him. What's his brother's name? Don't nobody know. Y'all don't know no Jesus. Y'all playing, man. Y'all playing. Y'all wrapping caskets and calling on names that the people don't even know. If you went there right now and you said, "Hey Jesus," he wouldn't even look. He wouldn't even turn around because his mama didn't call him that. That's the name the Greeks gave him. That ain't even his real name. Y'all don't know nobody. You don't know nobody. You don't even know yourself. We're ignorant and hard pressed to seek knowledge outside of what we already think. We only want an echo chamber, don't we all? We only want to be validated and to be affirmed from what we already believe. That's called a sink cost bias. That means that even if truth comes to you, you would rather be right than be true. And there's a difference. You would rather be right. You would rather be correct than be true. There's a political correctness, but that doesn't mean it's true. And I think a lot of us would rather be correct, meaning we just want the answer on man's test if it's right. But on God's test, which is the truth or falsehood, we don't know. God's tests are only true and false. God's tests are only true and false. Man's test is multiple choice and it's subjective. Okay? So I know we got to get up out of here. We got people starting to head out. Like Miss Brenda. We got my brother Carlos that came in. But y'all, we need to know what we're talking about because a lot of times we in our feelings. All right. So I'm gonna end it at that, Mom. You blew me away today with that wrap casket. I'm done.
I thought I've shared that with you before.
No, I'm done for the day. I got a whole new disgust for human beings, but I love y'all. That's great because death is a very special thing. Y'all, if you guys knew, if you knew the sanctity of passing away and how you're taking the sacredness out of it by making it a fad, by making it a distraction, by making it an advertisement, by making it by defiling it. You know, I funny, and I'm in with this. I heard a veteran who fought in the United States Armed Forces, an older veteran, say he really didn't like the fact that people who called themselves patriots wore the flag on their shorts, on their behinds, or wore the flag, on their underwear, right, as designs. And I really thought about that. I was like, huh. They say they hold this thing in such pride and such regard and all these things, and then because to him that flag wasn't supposed to hit the ground. Now, I'm not no big flag dude or nothing like that, but to him that flag wasn't to touch the ground. And if you upheld it, right, or if you stood by it as a quote unquote patriot, then you had a certain respect for it. But nowadays you see younger people saying that same thing, that they have this pride in it, but will let it get dirty, will wear it on their behind where they sit down. And so there's a difference. And so I understand there may be different values here on a funeral, and you say, and it's a celebration. I get that. I do think it's a celebration, but it's also a very real thing. And that person's soul is going through something right now, and they could use your prayers, not your fashion sense. Okay? What
Not
really
your look at me. You still saying look at me. My this, my this. Look at me. It ain't about it, it's not. So Brandon.
all right. I got to get up out of here, y'all. Can we end it there, Mama?
We can. Let's read the affirmation and let's get on out.
Let's do it. So today's August 7th title was we didn't do too much on this title. We read it. I hope y'all got it. Go back and read it. You should have the book anyway if you don't. So yeah, start doing your work, start pulling your weight. And we're gonna pull ours, but we ain't pulling yours. So thank you for being here. But today, August 7th, title was Fly High. And Daryl L. Mobley, the founder of Mobley Peak Performance Institute, said that it's the struggle that makes you great. It's the struggle. that makes you great. And after a brief passage about a young boy who was confined to a bed because of a lingering illness and watched a cocoon of a beautiful butterfly on this windowsill. And as that butterfly started to come out of that cocoon, he saw that it was struggling and that it was coming out slowly. And so he goes up and cuts that cocoon and helps the butterfly come out. But the butterfly never flew away. It only fell to a crawl because it was the pressure, it was the struggle that pushed the colors inside of the wings and made them grow, made them flap, made them develop. It was the pressure, it was the adversity, it was the weight bearing against the butterfly's wings that make them form, right? And then so he stunted the growth of that butterfly, who was now forced to crawl in dust instead of fly over the skies. And after that, we came to an affirmation that said, I will continue to struggle and press forward. No matter what, I will continue to struggle and press forward. And by struggle, I don't mean I'm going to purposefully suffer. Struggling is not suffering. What are you striving for? We maybe even replace that just for connotation. I will continue to strive and press forward no matter the struggle. All right. So I'm going to leave you guys with that today. I hope you share it with someone. Go to the YouTube if you're not already on there. Like, subscribe. Please turn on those notifications so that you tell the algorithm that this is the content that you want to see. And it will put more content like this, even outside of us. More motivation, more inspiration, more affirmation, more contemplation, more personal development inside of your queue. All right. And this will hopefully start to change the innermost part of you. Okay. So I love y'all. Appreciate y'all for being here. Again, share, like, subscribe, and we'll rinse and repeat tomorrow at 7 a.m. for day 190 of In This Season podcast. Appreciate y'all. Peace.